All right, how you doing? Thanks for checking out my channel. So what I want to talk about today is actually, you know, you may not be good at being an entrepreneur. I think a lot of people that want to be entrepreneurs or have been entrepreneurs or are currently an entrepreneur are really failing a lot. Which is understandable. I think to a certain degree, that's what being an entrepreneur is basically, learning how to fail forward, I call it, where you fail and you just got to keep moving forward, right? But I also think there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that are just horrible at what they're doing. And I'm not telling you to stop being an entrepreneur. Let me make that clear. But, excuse me, I think a lot of people are the word is overused. I think a lot of people not doing much or claiming they're doing things a lot of times say I'm an entrepreneur, and they're really not getting that much accomplished, or they're not successful in general. And I'm not here to knock on them, but I am here to tell you, if you are failing as an entrepreneur, and you still want to be one, I think you have to take a different approach a lot of times. And I have been in this situation, and I'm still in this situation because I'm always evolving and changing and experimenting with different things. And one thing I think a lot of entrepreneurs are afraid of is getting around people that are doing what they do and learning from them. And I think that's one thing I've always kind of lacked, is not getting the right coach or the right mentor. Now, I'm not telling you got to always pay these people. I think a lot of times when we hear people saying, hey, you need the coach, you need somebody to do this or that, you're thinking, oh my God, I can't afford that hourly rate, or I can't afford, thousands of dollars or whatever. I get it. But there are a lot of people, you'd be shocked out there, that are willing to help you as long as you build a friendship with them. You could do it on social media. And as long as you I think a lot of people, what happens, even being an entrepreneur, is you meet somebody that's successful, maybe doing what you're doing, or is just good at whatever they're doing. They want to help you, but you bog them down. You exhaust them. I talk a lot about this with making connections and meeting new people. Your pitch is too long. You're up their ass all the time. You're texting them too much. You're emailing them too much. You're calling them too much. You want to get on too many Zoom calls with them. You burn people out. Learn to build not just one, relationship or friendship with different people that are, doing what you're doing. Try to connect with a lot of different entrepreneurs. Learn what they're doing right, and also learn from what they've done wrong. They can tell you something in one conversation that could take you 10 years to learn. You got to think about these things. And if you're around successful people, most likely, it's going to, I think, help you succeed. That doesn't mean by any means that you following another entrepreneur is going to benefit you necessarily entirely, because we all live different lives. Most likely we're all in different businesses. We all handle things differently entirely. So even if you do follow somebody a lot of times that's successful, doesn't mean it's going to succeed for you. I'm not trying to say that, but it's really good to be around people that that are succeeding to a certain degree. I really do. And I think this is where, and I try to help men, let's put it this way, build confidence. And I think the one thing men lack a lot of times is they don't have the confidence to say, I need help. They're embarrassed. Like, really asking somebody, even if you know them or not know them, can you really just have a conversation with me? And instead of, again, being an entrepreneur, I know a lot of times they're pitching them and telling them all the things that they've done or want to do, just asking some questions and learning from them. Kind of taking a back seat, really taking the time out to say, this is what hasn't worked for me. So I'm going to ask the questions why they think it's not working for me, or what they would do to a certain degree. These are just things to think about, because I kind of think a lot of times I get hit up a lot, and I just did a podcast, and it was first starting off about relationships, actually. And then before you know it, they want to know about how I do certain things as far as my YouTube or my podcast, or how I've written books or films and all these different types of things, which I get it. It's pretty cool. I look back at it myself and go, wow, that's pretty interesting. If I met someone like myself and I love movies, of course I'm going to ask Rich about movies, or I'm going to ask him about how he does whatever the hell he does, right? And I love that. And this is what made me really think about that is, the person that was on there was an entrepreneur as well. And I kept telling him, not only should you be connecting with entrepreneurs, right, in, trying to learn as much as possible, if he wants to get into a relationship with a woman, which it sounds like he does, maybe getting into a relationship with a woman who's an entrepreneur, or dating women that are entrepreneurs, because, again, they're going to be able to teach you things maybe somebody else, wouldn't be able to, especially if you're just kind of, a lot of guys only date a certain type of girl. Really finding women that are entrepreneurs, there's organizations or groups, and meeting them. And not only will they help you, I think if you end up in a relationship, you can partner up. And if that doesn't even work, just having somebody you can learn from. I think a lot of men, again, are afraid to learn from women that are very successful. So that's another avenue you could take as well. Yeah. So just want to do a quick video on this, but please, yeah, if you're, I will wrap it up officially with this. If you're not succeeding at being an entrepreneur, and believe me, I have my ups and downs, like I said earlier, there's a lot of reasons there probably. It's not just one reason. It may not just be because you don't have enough money. It may not be because, you know, whatever it is. I don't want to start listing everything. But there's probably numerous amounts of things you're doing that are not right. It could be in marketing. It could be the way your pitch is. It could be, you know, your website. It could be your Facebook pages. It could be your even the way you're represented online, the way you kind of represent yourself on social media, all these different types of things. So, you know, you really got to really pay attention to these things, because I think a lot of times, too, being an entrepreneur, you just want to box yourself in and go, the reason I'm not successful is because the market changed and blah, 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 blah. The reason I'm not successful is because I don't have enough money for inventory, and if I don't have this, or I don't have enough employees, and I don't have that. Like, we get it. And a lot of times, a lot of what you're saying is bullshit. There may be some truth to it, but if you look at a lot of things, it's probably a lot more than just one, is what I'm saying. So I'm going to officially wrap it up there. If you want to know more about me, you can go to richcelenza.com. If you want to know about more with me helping men with their confidence, you could go to masteringselfconfidence.com. All right? Take care. You got any questions or comments, hit me up.